Hello warriors, welcome back to Mind Alchemy. Before watching the video, make sure to subscribe and like. There's a reason you keep losing control, a reason people can still provoke you, manipulate you, and pull you into their chaos. It's because you still care too much. You still let emotions guide you, still let others dictate your peace. In this world, Theon who stays calm while everyone else loses their mind wins everything. Think about it. The calm man is feared. The emotional man is controlled. When chaos erupts, when people panic, argue, or break, the one who stays silent becomes the one everyone looks at because stillness is dominance. Machiavelli once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does. Finally, the fool reacts." The wise man observes. He lets everyone reveal themselves first. Their anger, fear, insecurity, while he remains untouchable. His calmness is not peace, it's strategy. His silence is not weakness, it's a weapon. You see, calmness is a form of psychological warfare. When you don't react, you deny others the satisfaction of control. You make them question themselves. You break their confidence without saying a word. The loudest person always exposes their emotions. But the calm one, the one who doesn't flinch, doesn't explain, doesn't chase, becomes terrifying. This world doesn't reward the kind. It rewards the composed. It rewards the one who doesn't fall apart when things go wrong. Everyone wants to be confident, but few understand that composure commands more than confidence ever could. Because confidence can be faked, calmness cannot. In this video, you'll learn how to become cold, not lifeless, but controlled. Calm, not weak, but unreadable. You'll learn how to stop chasing approval, how to find peace in the middle of storms, how to turn silence into your shield, and how to make people respect you without saying a single word. Because once you learn to master your emotions, nobody can use them against you. That's when you become something different, something rare, a man impossible to break. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I control the storm within. Let's begin. Number 1, find peace inside chaos. The weak wait for peace to come to them. The powerful create it within themselves, even when everything around them burns. Chaos isn't a signal to panic. It's a stage built for those who know how to stand still while others collapse. When the world screams, you whisper. When people rush, you move like water. Slow, deliberate, unshaken. That's how you separate yourself from the crowd, because anyone can be calm when life is gentle. But only the rarest minds can stay centered in the storm. Machiavellian said, "He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command." But you can't command anything if you can't first command yourself. Every situation you face is a battlefield between your impulses and your intelligence. Chaos is simply life's way of testing which one truly leads you. Most people break because they believe peace is something external. A quiet place, a safe environment, a temporary break from problems. But the Machiavellian mind knows peace is internal, forged in fire, born in moments where everyone else loses their grip. It's not about escaping the storm. It's about becoming the calm inside it. When others argue, you observe. When they fight to be heard, you conserve your energy. Your silence becomes a mirror that exposes their instability. The moment you stop reacting to noise, noise stops having power over you. You must train yourself to feel chaos, but not absorb it. The world will throw conflict, betrayal, confusion, and pain your way. Not to destroy you, but to see if you still remain centered. Breathe through the fire. Let it pass through you without consuming you. Because once you realize peace isn't found, it's built. You stop waiting for the world to calm down. You become the calm. Remember this. Chaos only destroys the man who tries to fight it. The wise man doesn't fight chaos. He observes it until it devours itself. That's why people who live in panic are easy to control. They expose their emotions, show their thoughts, and surrender their peace to anyone who knows how to push the buttons. But a calm mind is unpredictable, unreadable, and unstoppable. Your stillness becomes your most intimidating armor. It's not indifference, it's mastery. When you can smile while surrounded by noise, you've reached a level of strength that no one can imitate. So stop trying to escape difficult moments. Face them until fear loses interest in you. Because peace isn't comfort, it's control. And when you can hold peace inside your chest while chaos swirls around you, you've already won. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I'm calm in the storm. Number 2, strength is born in silence. Silence is not emptiness. It's power waiting to be unleashed. The loud speak to prove themselves, but the strong stay quiet to protect their advantage. Real strength doesn't need to announce itself. It moves invisibly, like a shadow, observing everything, calculating every detail, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. When you understand the value of silence, you stop wasting energy on words that don't matter. You begin to realize that every time you explain, argue, or defend yourself, you give away a piece of your control. Machiavelli once said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves." One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. Silence is the bridge between the two. It teaches you when to wait, when to speak, and when to vanish completely. The modern world is filled with people desperate to be heard, constantly revealing their plans, thoughts, and insecurities without realizing that power dies the moment it is exposed. But those who cultivate silence understand that mystery is strength. The less you reveal, the more others imagine. The more they imagine, the more they fear, because the unknown terrifies people more than any threat. A man who says nothing forces others to guess. That guessing becomes their mental prison. While they waste energy decoding you, you remain in control. That's the art of psychological warfare, making others reveal themselves while you remain unreadable. Silence also trains discipline. When you learn to withhold your reactions, you develop patience. And patience is the weapon that breaks those who rush. Every second you remain still while others lose composure, you build invisible power. Insolence, you can hear things others miss. Tone, intention, weakness. You begin to see beyond words. You start to understand the real motives behind every smile, every compliment, every question. Most people talk to fill the void. The Machiavellian mind uses the void as a mirror. In stillness, you discover how easily people expose themselves when they feel the need to fill silence. Let them talk. Let them reveal. You simply listen, store, and strike when the time is right. That's strength. Not the kind that needs recognition, but the kind that quietly dictates outcomes. The more silent you become, the more people project their fears onto you. They'll call you cold, distant, arrogant because they can't read you. But understand this, their discomfort is proof of your power. So let your silence do the work that words never could. Because a quiet mind is a dangerous weapon. It hurts everything, forgets nothing, and waits without emotion. That's where real strength is born, in silence so deep, even chaos can't reach it. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence holds power. Number 3, stop chasing approval. Let it chase you. The moment you start seeking validation, you hand over your freedom. Approval is a leash disguised as praise. The more you crave it, the easier you are to control. Most people don't realize that their entire lives are built around the opinions of others, how they dress, speak, behave, even what they dream about. But when you live like that, you're no longer living for yourself. You're performing for an audience that doesn't care. Machiavellian said, "Men are driven by two principal impulses, either by love or by fear." The masses chase love because it feels safe. The powerful embrace fear because it commands respect. Seeking approval makes you predictable, and predictability kills power. You begin to mold yourself into what others expect, constantly editing your truth to fit their comfort. But every time you do that, a piece of your authenticity dies. Power begins when you stop explaining yourself, when you stop needing permission to exist as you are. Approval is an illusion. People respect those who do not seek it. When you move with purpose and certainty, people are drawn to you naturally because confidence without validation is rare. Humans are wired to follow what they cannot influence. So the one who doesn't care about being liked becomes the one everyone wants to impress. That's the paradox of power. The less you chase approval, the more it follows you. To master this, you must learn detachment. Detach from praise. Detach from criticism. Detach from the need to be seen. The Machiavellian mind understands that being liked is temporary, but being respected is eternal. Respect is born from boundaries, from the ability to say no without explanation. When you no longer fear disapproval, you become immune to manipulation. People will test you. They will withhold validation, question your decisions, and try to make you doubt yourself. That's how they measure your strength. Most crumble under that silence because they mistake lack of approval for rejection. But the wise one knows rejection is simply redirection toward power. When you stop chasing acceptance, you begin to attract it. You become magnetic, not because you seek attention, but because you no longer need it. People are drawn to what they cannot fully understand. And detachment is the deepest mystery of all. It radiates control, self-respect, and dominance. From that point, everything changes. Conversations, relationships, opportunities. Because when you stand alone without seeking anyone's validation, the world bends to acknowledge your presence. Your independence becomes your throne. So stop proving, stop pleasing. Let others gaze your approval instead. Because true authority isn't given by others. It's claimed by the one who no longer asks for it. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I don't seek approval. Number 4, composure commands more than confidence. Confidence can be faked, but composure cannot. Anyone can puff their chest, speak loudly, and act fearless. But the moment real pressure arrives, their mask cracks. Composure, however, is the quiet authority that never fades, no matter how intense the storm becomes. It's the kind of presence that silences a room without a single word. When you walk with composure, you don't need to prove anything. Your energy speaks louder than any declaration. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to appear merciful, faithful, humane, religious, and upright, but to be able to change as fortune and circumstances demand." That's the essence of composure. The ability to adapt without emotion, to remain balanced when everyone else swings between extremes. The world worships confidence because it's visible, but composure is feared because it's unshakable. A confident man seeks attention. A composed man already has it. When others argue, he listens. When they rush, he slows down. When the environment tries to provoke him, he remains unmoved. That's when people realize he's different. They feel his control. They sense his depth. He doesn't rise to every challenge because he knows reacting is surrendering control to chaos. The composed man studies the battlefield while others exhaust themselves. His calm becomes a weapon sharper than aggression. True composure is forged through discomfort, through situations that test your patience, tempt your ego, and trigger your emotions. Every moment you resist the urge to react, you build a fortress inside your mind. The strongest men in history were not the loudest. They were the most disciplined under pressure. They understood that the ability to stay calm under attack is more intimidating than any outburst of strength. When you keep your tone steady and your eyes firm, while others lose control, you dominate without confrontation. That's how leaders are born, not by shouting commands, but by carrying stillness that others instinctively follow. Composure is also the death of manipulation. People can't twist your emotions if they can't read them. They can't control your mind if they can't predict your reaction. That's why being calm isn't passive. It's the highest form of defense. It's awareness, strategy, and patience disguised assailants. When you master composure, you stop living on impulse. You begin to respond with precision. Every gesture becomes intentional, every decision clean of emotion. That's when you rise above noise and nonsense. The confident may burn bright for a moment, but the composed endure through every season, because the man who stays calm under pressure commands both respect and fear, and that combination is power. Never let chaos dictate your tone. Never let noise shake your core, because once you master composure, you don't just control yourself, you control the room. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Me calm commands power. Number 5, feel everything, show nothing. You're not supposed to be emotionless. You're supposed to be unreadable. The strongest men feel everything. Pain, betrayal, disappointment, rage. But they never let the world see it. They turn emotion into intelligence. Every feeling becomes fuel. Every scar becomes strategy. Because when you show your emotions to the wrong eyes, you hand them the keys to control you. Machiavelli once said, "Never attempt to win by force. What can be won by deception?" The same applies to your emotions. You don't win by exposing them. You win by mastering them. Most people confuse expression with strength. They think venting every feeling makes them real. But the truth is the world doesn't reward emotional transparency. It exploits it. The more people know what affects you, the easier it is for them to use it against you. The moment someone learns what makes you angry, anxious, or desperate, they've already built a map of your weaknesses. The Machiavellian mind knows emotions are signals, not instructions. You can feel everything without reacting to anything. That's emotional control. The art of letting energy move through you without losing your center. When you feel anger, don't explode. Study it. When sadness comes, don't drown, observe it. Emotions lose their grip when you refuse to perform for them. And that's what separates the powerful from the powerless. The powerful turn emotional storms into silent strategy sessions. They don't deny their pain. They riff in it until it sharpens their awareness, showing emotion is not strength, controlling it is. Because silence confuses the manipulative, indifference disarms the arrogant, and composure destroys the curious who want to see you fall. Your calmness under pressure drives others mad because it reveals their lack of control. When they expect a reaction and receive stillness, they start questioning their own power. That's psychological dominance. But understand, feeling nothing is not the goal. Feeling deeply yet remaining calm is. Every emotion you conquer becomes a brick in your foundation of power. Most people run from emotions because they fear being consumed by them. You'll learn to stand still as they rage within, knowing that storms always pass, but discipline remains. Because the man who can face his emotions without letting them define him becomes untouchable. The world will test you. It will throw people, loss and temptation at you just to see if you break. But you will not. You will feel everything yet shout nothing. You will let others wonder what moves behind your eyes while you quietly build your empire. That's not suppression. That's mastery. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I feel deeply but reveal nothing. Number 6. Weak minds react. Strong minds understand. Every reaction is a confession. The moment you respond impulsively, you reveal what controls you. Weak minds are slaves to emotion, constantly dragged by anger, jealousy, or fear. They react because they lack inner discipline, because silence feels unbearable to them. Strong minds don't rush to respond. They study, they interpret, they understand. They see beyond the surface of every situation. Machiavellian said, "A prince never lacks legitimate reasons to break his promise," meaning the wise do not act from emotion, but from reason. They bend situations to their favor because they understand before they move. The fool reacts immediately, giving away his intentions, while the strategist observes, learning how to turn every attack into advantage. Understanding ice power because it gives you choice. Reaction is slavery because it gives others control. When you react, your enemies lead. When you understand, you lead them. The modern world conditions people to react instantly. Social media, arguments, competition, noise everywhere, pushing you to answer, to defend, to explain. But that's how the weak expose their insecurities. The Machiavellian mind knows that silence after provocation is not avoidance, it's dominance. Because when you delay your reaction, you create tension. And in that silence, others start revealing their intentions, their fears, their limits. That's when understanding becomes your weapon. You start to see who is emotional, who is manipulative, who is genuine. And once you understand them, you can control them. Weak minds crave to prove themselves right. Strong minds care only to know what's true. That difference defines power. Understanding requires patience, and patience is something only the disciplined possess. A calm observer learns more in 1 minute of silence than a reactive person learns in a lifetime of noise. The strong don't need to defend their image. They let results speak. They don't argue for dominance, they plan in silence. They don't chase respect. They make it inevitable. The one who reacts becomes predictable. The one who understands becomes a ghost, untouchable and unreadable. To master understanding, you must train your ego to be silent. Don't assume, don't take things personally, and never let emotion decide for you. When someone disrespects you, don't rush to defend your pride. Ask why they needed to. When someone lies to you, don't confront them immediately. Study what fear made them do it. When you start understanding, instead of reacting, you turn every insult into information, every conflict into clarity, every betrayal into education. And that's when your power becomes unbreakable. Because the mind that understands has already won before the reaction even begins. Remember, every fool can react, but only a ruler can remain calm enough to understand. Drop this affirmation in the comments. We don't react, I understand. Number 7, power doubles when you stop explaining. The moment you stop explaining yourself, you step into real authority. People who constantly justify their actions reveal uncertainty, and uncertainty invites control. The more you explain, the more you weaken your position, because explanation is an apology disguised as reasoning. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Fear doesn't come from words. It comes from mystery. When people can't fully read your motives, they start to suspect you out of caution. But when you explain every move, you become transparent, and transparency kills power. The Machiavellian mind understands that silence creates hierarchy. When you speak less, your words gain weight. When you explain less, your actions gain impact. The powerful don't waste energy proving their worth. They let their results speak with brutal clarity. Every explanation invites debate, and debate is a trap designed to pull you into emotional territory. The wise never enter that battlefield. They simply state, act, and move on. The strong know that their decisions do not require approval, and their silence after judgment terrifies those who expect justification. You must understand that people don't want the truth. They want comfort. When you start explaining, you try to comfort them, and in doing so, you lower yourself to their level. But when you remain silent, you force them to sit with uncertainty, and that uncertainty becomes your power. A carman who doesn't explain himself appears dangerous because people cannot predict him. They wonder what he knows, what he's planning, what he might do next. That psychological edge is priceless. When you stop explaining, you shift from defense to dominance. You become a presence that doesn't seek to be understood, only respected. In a world obsessed with validation, silence becomes rebellion. It unsettles the weak because it reminds them that they have no control over you. Stop telling people your reasons, your dreams, your next step. Let them guess. Let them misunderstand. Power is built in shadows, not in discussions. You owe no explanation for your choices, your silence, or your distance. Every time you resist the urge to explain, you reinforce your independence. People will call you arrogant, cold, or mysterious. Let them. Their confusion is proof that they no longer have access to your mind. The moment they stop expecting explanations, you've already won. Because true power isn't loud, it's silent. It moves without seeking permission and acts without seeking applause. The one who doesn't explain holds the advantage of unpredictability, and unpredictability is the heartbeat of dominance. So never explain your intentions, just execute them. Never reveal your strategy, just let their salts appear. Power doubles when you realize that silence is your greatest answer. Now you understand what makes a person truly unbreakable. It's not physical strength, not loud confidence, not constant expression. It's control, the one who remains calm when everything collapses, who stays silent while others scream, who no longer explains, reacts, or chases. That is the one the world cannot defeat. Machiavelli once said, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present," meaning the powerful move with reason, not emotion. They adapt, evolve, and stay unshaken. No matter how many times life changes around them, you must now become that person. Calm, cold, and untouchable. The storms will not stop coming, but they will stop moving you. People will still test you, but they will no longer control you. Because when your emotions belong to you and not to the world, you become a master of yourself. And self-mastery is the highest form of power. From this moment, don't try to prove anything. Don't defend yourself. Don't chase recognition. Let your silence command it. Let your energy speak louder than your words ever could. And when people wonder how you stay so calm while everything burns, just smile. Because that's what they'll never understand. Calmness is not peace. It's domination over the mind. You are no longer the storm's victim. You are its center. If this message spoke to your soul, remember this kind of strength is rare, but it can be built. So if you're ready to keep growing sharper, colder, and wiser, then like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to join the circle of minds that refuse to be broken. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. I am calm, cold, and untouchable.